Certainly, I think the stock being down reflects investors' concern about the price that's being paid. Certainly, with the results of the auction would indicate that, in retrospect, Comcast did not need to offer as much as they did. And certainly, all along through the process, investors have expressed concern about Comcast ultimately overpaying. In particular, there seemed to be a very strong desire to acquire Sky. Especially when Comcast backed out on its attempt to outbid Disney to make a play on the Fox assets that Disney was trying to acquire. So, yeah, certainly negative reaction right now in Comcast shares.
Do you also see this, John? Do you see it as a positive or a negative ultimately for Comcast shareholders?
Well, I think the market is selling off Comcast today because they feel the company panicked and overreacted here. The company had essentially a loaded weapon when it lost out on the Fox assets from Disney. So you knew they were going to do something. And here they feel like they need to add content really to compete against AT&T Time Warner to become an end-to-end media distribution company, right? You own the pipe through cable, and now you're building on top of your content with NBC. So, they paid up here, and I think strategically investors are viewing it as a panic because they had a loaded weapon because they paid such a high premium.
John, what's your take on whether this now means media M&A is done for the time being, given that the likes of Disney, the likes of Comcast, the potential big acquirers have made the acquisitions they're going to make for the short term?
Yeah, no way. I think this becomes a media land grab, and I think it continues probably for the next 18 months. There are still a lot of assets out there. They're not trading at extreme valuations just on the public market. And the potential acquirers have tremendous assets. I mean, look at potential buyers. You have Apple with Apple TV. You have Amazon Prime. Netflix is choosing to build their own content. You have Google through YouTube. And then potential acquirers, you have Viacom. They have Paramount Studios. It's some very strong cable networks. Clearly, there's political issues there with the company, but that is definitely ripe for the taking, I think, at the right multiple. You have Discovery, who's been acquirer. So it's not just also on the content, it's on the distribution, as we saw today with Pandora and SiriusXM. So I think we're still early in the cycle here.
No, it's good, and I'm glad you named some names. What do you think is going to be the biggest strategic rationale behind the acquisitions? Is it to add more subscribers, as Comcast is doing with the Sky acquisition? Is it an international play, a technology play?
Well, I think clearly the key here for Comcast for this to work in the future is that it gives it global reach. AT&T Time Warner is really more U.S., North America centric, but now Comcast is adding on a lot of global subscribers here, and maybe they do more acquisitions in the future once this is settled to build onto that base. So I think it really depends on who the acquirer is. And the idea is, you want to be a content distribution end-to-end provider rather than just a pure library.